Buenos dias, niñas, mama, papa, abuelo, abuela, tío, tía, amigas. Buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Today we are looking at safe practices. So I just came from outside, coming back home. What I'm going to do now is wash my hands. I'm washing my hands. I don't know if this camera could pick up the soap, but I'm washing my hands properly with soap and water. Today, our art is on safe practices. Now, we all knew about washing our hands, the importance of washing our hands. And when we wash our hands, we get the soap properly between our fingers. We rub it, and let the water run out the suds. Now, it's muy importante that we do this consciously. We do this because our hands are receptacles that could pick up things. And today in this art, I need you, Nina, and I need, or Nino, if a Nino is looking at this video, I need also, so you will be doing the work with the assistance of your mama or your papa, your tío or tía, uncle or auntie, abuelo or abuela. All right, so let's get started. Today we are doing a different type of collage, okay? Our collage is going to be on safe practices. The first thing we're going to look at, again, I love to recycle stuff. So, and my daughter and I, we love to make cake. So we use a box, a normal box cover. And the first thing we started with is the letter T. Look at my pointer here, the letter T. When we made the letter T, I kind of thickened it. I thickened it by making two curves here, and then I made it a little, let me just shift my picture from here. Right. Then I made an outline of it. This represents the tap. So most importantly, to get rid of germs, we need a tap, right? So look at it again. It's the letter T. We thicken the lines that make the letter T, and we put a little nozzle representing the water that is coming out from the tap. All right, now we need a lot of help. Now comes for the fun stuff. We need to prepare your paper. Your paper, in preparation of your paper, it could be any form, landscape or portrait. And we're going to look at the three primary colors, rojo, amarillo, and azul. Again, rojo, which is red, amarillo, which is yellow, azul, which is blue. And this time we are using a toothbrush, yes, a normal toothbrush. And you're going to take your paintbrush, paint the bristle, and take your finger and sprinkle. Now you're not doing all the three colors at the same time. So if you want to start with blue first, azul, you sprinkle your blue first. Then you come back again, wash the brush, wash the toothbrush, and you could probably go with amarillo. You put the paint on it and you sprinkle it, leave it a little bit, wash the brush, then you could sprinkle, put on, paint on rojo, and the same thing again. While that is drying, you paint your tap in your favorite color. I wanted it to be blue. You could paint it in any color that you want it to be in. Right. So now we are going to put in the viruses. Now the sprinkles represent viruses that are all around. We live in a world with dust particles, and there are viruses which we cannot see. And one way we prevent the viruses from harming us is by using water. So I want you to place your drawing book on landscape, right? Remember landscape? Let me just show you. Remember, this is portrait and this is landscape. And you're going to put your tap on the top left-hand corner. Remember the tap that we made? Right. Next, I want you, so I used a small container and I want you to draw 10 circles. Okay? Those 10 circles will represent the virus we are most concerned about, the coronavirus. Okay? So you're going to put throughout your page 10 circles. Use a pencil. Then I want you to use your smallest paintbrush. Now we're not painting it. Corona means crown. So those dots are the crowns or the spikes. Okay, corona came from crown. Spikes, it is many viruses, but they spike together. And it's that spiking is what attaches itself to humans, to even materials such as paper and metal. Hence the reason why soap and water is very, very important. So while we're doing this art piece, girls, I want you to think about what's going on now in your world. We can fight this. We can fight this by whenever we go out, we put on our face mask. And everywhere we are, and very often, I want you to wash your hands because your hands are the receptacle that these things could attach itself on. And we are always touching things. And the coronavirus, those red spikes, they attach themselves onto things. So anything that you touch, mommy could go to the grocery, daddy could go and buy something and bring it back and rest it down, and those things are there. And you have to always wash it out with soap and water. Okay? So today we are just looking at 10 coronaviruses in our environment, in our artwork. So count with me. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more time, otra vez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So we're just doing 10 representative of the viruses all around us. Remember, girls, I am looking for dots. Huh? I am looking for dots, the spikes. The coronavirus is a group of viruses that come together, and they come together with spikes. And the spikes is what attaches itself to us. So we're doing art and we are having fun, but we are also thinking about what is happening. And also, girls, I want you to fear not. And I want you to always remember, I can do all things with Christ who strengthens me. And with Christ, I have nothing to be afraid of. So now we know about the coronavirus, and it's very important that we have these safe practices. Soap and water is our friends. Also, when we go out in public, a face mask, right? We wear a face mask. Right. So this is where abuelo, abuela, tío, tía, mama, papa, amiga, even hermano, hermano, brother or sister could come and help you. So you need to put down your hands, right? Let me move my picture again here. You need to put down your hands, right? And have somebody trace it out. Whatever paper you have, whatever color paper, that's okay. You could use any color that you want. You've got to trace it out. Now remember, girls, with the help of an adult around you, I want you to hold your scissors. All scissors, remember, come with a little hole and an oval. That little hole is for your thumb, and the rest is for your fingers, which you will hold like this, and you can try and cut it out. Yes, you can get help. I know that this is new to you. You can get help. I don't want you cutting out anything by yourselves. You must have somebody with you. And I put fingernails. Go right ahead. You put on your Q-Tex and your things. Right. Then, so we have our coronaviruses completed in the background. We have the tap. We have the hands. Are we finished? No, we are not. We need important things. We need soap and we need water. Right. So we're going to just take a piece of paper, girls. We're going to cut it in strips. This is where, again, you will get help and you're going to curl. Now, you will get that help of curling from your adults. Whoever is around you, they are going to help you curl. Yes, can you believe it? You could curl any bit of paper. It just depends on how you hold it. All right? So we want to give the illusion that the water that we cut is flowing water, because water is not just straight down, it is curled. So this is where the adult who's with you is going to do this for you. You hold the paper and you just curl it like that. Any paper will do that. Girls, I don't want you doing that. I want the adult who's with you doing that, because this is at the edge by the blade of the scissors. But this gives the illusion of the paper curling, okay? So therefore, so your first step, let's go over. You get a piece of paper, you cut it in strips, let it be long enough to cover your hands, right? Because we want the water, our picture must show that the water is covering your hands, right? And the water is curling because water is gushing from the tap, right? And I rolled it around. Remember the little circle we drew on the tap? Let me go back here to show you that little circle we drew on the tap. Let me see. Remember we put the little circle, so you take that paper and roll it and stick it right here, okay? Because from that tap, that little hole, we have water running out, okay? All right. Now, safe practices is not complete with our soap. So for our soap suds, I use a sponge, right? I'm sure you have a sponge, just a little end, dip it in white, and you dip lustily over your hand. That soap is so important. That soap is going to wash away the viruses that are in our environment and even the coronavirus. I want you to encourage everybody around you. You must have your soap and water. You must wash down your areas properly. All right? And this is our final picture. All right, so your final picture, this is a collage. Remember we did a collage before? A collage is made up of different materials. Okay? So let me show you my own. So in the end, it's going to look like this, or something like this. So here we have our environment with the water, with everything, dust. We have always had viruses in our environment. That's why we sprinkled. However, we have a notorious virus now called the coronavirus. And the coronavirus, one of you may become a scientist or a chemist, and you will notice the coronavirus, it has spikes on it. So you take your time and do your dots. All right? And to get rid of this coronavirus, it's just water and soap. So girls, I hope you had fun with today's lesson. I hope the adult had fun with you too. I call this, when I do things like this, I call this, well, most of the times I do this with my children, and it's a mommy me time. If you're with your mommy or daddy, it's mommy daddy time, or whoever you're working with, it's that your time. And I want you always to enjoy these times. These are treasured times when you're working together and you're learning. I'm sure you're learning new things. All right, girls. So I'm getting ready to go to the next class. Again, safe practices. I must put on my mask. Now, girls, another thing, I'm seeing a lot of people doing this with their masks. When you do this, you're not having safe practices, because you're still allowing this point of entry to exist. You make sure that the mask first is stuck behind your ears, right? It covers your nose. This is very important, and your mouth. Also, I found it very important to get the appropriate size mask, because you don't want to be walking and the mask is choking you when you're walking. You get a mask that is big enough, that is covering your nose and your mouth, and you can still breathe. You can see how the mask is moving while I'm talking. It's because I can still breathe. So when you get your mask, always look and make sure. And even while you're with mommy and daddy and they're wearing their mask, and Tia and Tio and Abuelo and Abuela, you make sure it's like this. All right? Okay. Adios.